You're listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine.
The opinions and views expressed in this program do not reflect those of KUCI, its management, or the UC Board of Regents. To find out more about this talk show or other talk shows broadcasting on KUCI, log on to our website at kuci.org or check out the latest program guide.
This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Theater of Note for their presentation of Welcome to the White Room.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Greg Nussin. Hello. I'm the assistant director. Welcome to the White Room.
So, question: why did you decide to do this piece? Of all the things, you could be acting right now, and actually, in theater, the actor is he's kind of king. The director is king in movies. So, why do you want to do this?
I know you've seen me act before, so yeah, most of the time I read a script and I see it as an actor, I read it as an actor, and this was the first time in a while that I had read a script and saw it visually, and I was interested in helping out behind the scenes, and it's been a while since I directed, so I thought I would see if I could sign on as an assistant and get a different perspective, I guess, yeah.
I've interviewed a lot of directors, but for my viewers who don't understand, what does an assistant director do?
I imagine it's different with every director. Megan was very generous with me and solicited my advice when she needed it, and I also more primarily am getting the understudies ready for their performances, because at Theater of Note they get 2 guaranteed performances, so I'll be helping them with that. That will be my main duty, I guess, yeah.
Were you involved in the casting?
I was, yeah, absolutely, actually. Chris Gardner, who played Mr. Payne, was somebody that I had known from some work we did together at Theater at Boston Court, so when we were casting, I thought of him and brought him in, and, I was in all of the auditions. Also, I'm a member at the company, and Megan, who directed the show, is not a member, so I think I definitely had a little bit of a role as backing up, some people that came into audition, shall we say. Yeah.
All right, so as a director or assistant director, what do you look for in your casting?
For this show, it was a lot of, we were looking for people that inherently understood the very specific kind of language that this show required. Not exactly the dialogue, but the vocabulary of the world we're living in, a very different kind of world. And we saw a lot of actors that understood intuitively what this show was like stylistically, and I think we saw a lot that didn't. And then we sort of went from there, and honestly, at the end of the day, we had an embarrassment of riches with our choices, and very pleased with who we have in the end.
So, question, could you give me a comment about the story?
Yeah, I think when I first read it, there was so much mystery in the script, and I was very attracted to that, and not to sound trite, but I felt like the script had its central question about what it meant to be human. We see these 3 characters that are decidedly not human sort of slowly discover what it's like to taste things and see things and hear things, and those sort of very basic functions that you only see a child understand, but these people are all brilliant, and so that sort of contrast of incredible brilliance with an infant-like sense of discovery was really interesting.
I really enjoyed the direction of the show because basically it was so challenging and the piece was so abstract. If there wasn't a good director, this could have really been a really bad show. But again, it was actually very well done. Hardest material I've ever seen before. And again, it reminded me a lot of Alice in Wonderland, which I love. I love Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I'm glad you liked it. I had a small role to play in it, but Megan is a great director, and we were fortunate to get her on this production.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
I'm Chris Gardner. I'm an actor. I live here in Los Angeles. I've been here for about 15 years. I'm from New York, went to NYU, and have been working out here ever since. I play Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne is all in his name. He is full of pain. He goes through a lot in this in this play. He is on a journey of discovery about who he is and where he fits into this artificial intelligence world. And by the end, he gets the answer.
This piece actually reminded me a little bit of Alice in Wonderland.
There is a falling through the rabbit hole kind of effect to it, you know. I do agree with that completely.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should be in for a wild ride and expect to see things you're not expecting.
You know, one thing about Theater of Note, I realized that the pieces they choose are extremely demanding to the actor. Tremendous demanding.
This is my first show at Theater of Note, and you are absolutely right. I was in the last play I was in, I got hung and stabbed, and this play is harder. Yes, it's very challenging, but it was so much fun. Absolutely a blast to have for the whole process.
Basically, I thought you were fantastic. Again, of all the of all the characters, if I had to choose a favorite, I think it would be yours because you had to have movement, you had to have command, you had to have focus, you had to you had to connect to the audience with very obscure, abstract material.
Thank you so much. I mean, on the surface, it looks like a very simple play, but it's deceptively difficult. So I'm glad you caught all of that. Appreciate it.
A little advice, because it was such a challenging exercise there. What kind of advice can you give to, say, fellow actors who are given this piece in which is just you don't know how to handle it? And what do you do?
Show up and be ready for anything. Be open to the experience every single day. Like every day of this process was difficult and it was challenging and I got stretched, but I grew and it was fantastic.
Okay. Once again, I loved your performance tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Sierra Marks. I'm a Note member here. I've been here for about 2.5 years. I'm a member of the Artistic Management Committee, and this is my new theater home, and I love it.
And which character did you play tonight?
Ms. White. Ms. White is trying to assert herself in a man's world and prove her her intelligence from the get-go, and then she realizes that they're all in the same boat, and so it's quite a journey that we go in together, all of us. Assuming that we're kind of pitted against each other at the first moment, but then finding that we have to work together as a team. And so we all kind of find middle ground right away, and it's really cool.
Yeah, this piece actually reminded me a lot of Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, that's interesting. It does make the audience into Alice, I guess, because you're kind of growing bigger and smaller with whatever we eat, be it decks of cards and stuff, and there are a lot of references that cross over. So I guess I could see that, where maybe we're kind of the Mad Hatters at the tea party, and you guys are the Alice. It's for us in our state of mind and what we've worked on in rehearsal, it's been getting into the mindset of everything is a discovery. And so everything is exciting and carries information that we need, and we try to apply that for the next thing that we learn. And so even tactile things like eating a playing card for the first time, like how do we use that? What are we feeling after that? That must be usable information. Rather than marveling on what we're feeling, it's like how do we use the data that we're getting from it? So it's a very cerebral experience rather than Alice where she's kind of marveling at the whole thing. We're just trying to be active and use it. So, but that is really cool, yeah.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Oh, they should expect to have their world turned upside down, but it's a lot of fun. It's fun first and foremost, and then messes with your mind at the very end. So it's a great night, all in an hour.
One thing I have to say about Theater of Note in general, they produce some of the hardest pieces I think actors can possibly perform on. All the pieces I've seen so far, they are so challenging, demanding of their actors. What are your thoughts on that?
This role, Ms. White in Welcome to the White Room, is the most challenging. I was actually just talking to the playwright, Trish Hardito, backstage, and I told her that this is the most challenging role I have ever done, and it's only a 60-minute play, so it's insane, but the precision that you need, and also physically demanding. I have to do some dancing in the play, and I'm not a dancer, so tackling that as well as approaching the dance from another, like more of the data and cerebral position of what does this get us, kind of mixing the physical and the mental in that way is like you're just heightened the entire time. So this is by far the most difficult, challenging, and rewarding play that I've ever worked on.
Well, first of all, I thought your dancing was fine. Don't worry about that.
Thank you so much.
But question I have for you: suppose a young actor out there had a situation like that. They're given this piece of material that is so complex, the most complex things they've ever seen in their entire life. They don't know if they can do it. What kind of advice would you give them?
I'd say start with the simple. I mean, the core of this is that, I mean, we talked about the big ideas at first, and the first couple rehearsals we discussed what this means and how our world might be getting to this world of the play and things like that. But really, when it comes down to it, it's these characters interacting with each other and discovering things together, and they find joy in that. And so it's the very simple discoveries and kind of the emotional and mental journey that they go on together, and what they learn. So it's just being a baby, actually. So you make it actually as simple as possible, and you just sponge up all the information, and then you get there. So it's kind of like bring it back to the basics, and then you'll be great.
Okay. Once again, I really love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Sarah Lilly. I am originally from Kansas City, Kansas. God help me. Me, Dorothy, and Toto came out here, and I've been doing theater and TV and film for the last 30 years.
Great. And which character did you play tonight?
I played Jennings, the mad scientist.
What's your take on that character?
John Cleese as a female.
This piece really reminded me of Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, it does. It has a definitely going down the rabbit hole feel, except in this case it's a technological rabbit hole, and we become the Jabberwocky.
Yeah, this again, a white room. Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite pieces. This piece was actually very, very abstract, very challenging.
You know, if you like Alice in Wonderland, this has very much the Mad Hatter's Tea Party feel to it, and it can go there. It just takes that. If you dropped Alice into a computer game instead of down the rabbit hole, this is what would happen to her.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Something weird, something funny, something that will surprise you, and something that will make you think afterwards.
One thing about Theater of Note, they provide such incredibly challenging material for actors. I've never seen a theater be this hard on their actors. What are your thoughts on that?
That's what we do. I've been with this company since 1980. So yeah, the more challenging it is, the more we love it. That's what we are.
If there was a young actor out there and he was given a piece like this that's really abstract, you've never done it before, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, in our case, we were very lucky. We had a wonderful director, and the playwright also came down and talked to us. So we had some great direction for working with this piece. And part of me says, sometimes you just got to close your eyes and jump off the cliff.
Once again, I really loved your performance tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, and thank you. It's such a delight to have you here.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Ruben Wee. I'm an LA-based actor. I'm of Chinese Filipino descent. I hail from the Philippines, so I'm repping both Chinese and Filipino people here in SoCal. Yeah, and so I'm here in Theater of Note. I just played Patrick, and tonight was the opening night for Welcome to the White Room by Trish Harnato. So I've been reading a lot on how some people are just finding it hard to have sex, I think, because they're too digitized, or they live too much in the digital world playing these games which have their own worlds within. So it's kind of like a person that has forgotten what it means to be human, but then he's feeling human impulses, but he does not know what to do with them and still needs the avatars in the video games to kind of help him make that decision. But my take on Patrick is that he's basically the Lord or the God of this world, but then sometimes when you and then he imbues his personality in each of the characters, because that's what we do when we play video games. I still play video games, and like I play this video game called Skyrim, and I had a wife in Skyrim, and I was working for the Assassin's Guild in Skyrim, so there's this whole economy in that game, and so that's what he did with these three personalities, these three avatars that kind of help him cope with life that he just doesn't know how to cope with anymore with the usual human impulses.
The piece reminded me a lot of Alice in Wonderland.
Right. I think that's a good way to think about it. and then there's this, because when you read the, I think another thing to, because here it's about getting out, right? So in a way, there are echoes of Alice in Wonderland, but it's also a reverse Alice in Wonderland, because whereas Alice in Wonderland comes in, it's a coming of age story. This one is more of a, I think, in my opinion, a cautionary tale. So with Alice in Wonderland, she comes in and she comes out changed for the better. Here, this person actually becomes more human, but the play asks, what does being human mean? And then it's funny how he has to rediscover all the animal instincts, like the boar, the fox, and what's your inner animal. And like, we've always tried to delineate humans versus animals, but here we had to come and admit that without that animal side, there's no love, there's no longing, there's no desire, and you're just catatonic, almost catatonic. Yeah.
One thing about Theater of Note, I noticed the pieces here are very challenging for the actors. This is a very challenging piece.
It was very challenging for me. Like, the first time I read it, I really didn't know what to, because something about actors is that sometimes we get into this habit of playing a character we played before, especially when you read something cold, but you already have to present something to a director or somebody, so you do something that you've kind of done before, and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to create a character from scratch. But this one, you're forced to kind of be more creative, and that's what you're supposed to do. But this one, like, you're left with no other choice. So, which is great. It's a terrific challenge. I've grown so much, and with all my cast, with like Sarah, Sierra, and Chris, like, without their terrific performances, because I'm the type to use my co-actors to inform me of how I feel about them personally. I kind of ingrained that into my character, and it just helps that we're so bonded as a cast. And of course, the terrific direction of Megan as well.
I've been asking this of other cast members. A young actor had a situation like this where he's given this piece. They've never done this before. They don't know if they can do this. It's the hardest piece they've ever seen. What advice would you give to them?
Listen to people. I think the first thing that an actor has to get over is himself. Like, I've been that actor when I was younger. Like, as soon as a director gives you notes, you're like, oh, your self-confidence shatters, and then you don't know what to do, and you mope, and then you kind of hate that person. But then that person's on your side. They're trying to make you look good, because the director's not going to go on stage. You're going to be on stage. So so that's one thing I really had to get over as a teenager, and like as a young adult actor. And then as I grew older, you just listen, and you just be open all the time. Try it out, even if it looks stupid, all the time, because that's the beauty with theater. You have so many opportunities to play it, and just say yes every time, just like an improv class. It's like yes, and you just go. You always have to make those leaps, because if you can't trust your director, then who else can you trust? And so just listen to your director, listen to everybody who gives you notes, just try it out. You'll find something, you'll touch on something real. And as long as it's real, it's a chicken and egg thing. You won't find that real something unless you take that leap committed fully. But then you can't commit fully if you don't, so it's that kind of thing. You just have to really make that leap.
Once again, I thought your performance was fantastic. I thought all the performances were fantastic. I really respect the piece. It reminded me a lot of Alice in Wonderland. Right. I did enjoy it, but again, if I compare it to Alice in Wonderland, that's just too unfair of a comparison. Right. But it was a good piece.
Right. It was. And the Alice in Wonderland was a reflection of its time. Because I think I've read some articles on Alice in Wonderland and how it reflected like the politics of that time and the situations and stories for women, right? Because during that time, it's women didn't have the same things they had now. I think this one, I like that it's confusing people, because I think in time, as the years go by, people are going to look back and see that this is a cautionary tale. This is something that people need to be aware of. We're losing something with all these screens and with all these devices and with all these outrage, instant culture. So yeah. And come to Theater of Note and 1517 North Cahuenga in Hollywood, Los Angeles.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
Welcome to the White Room. We'll be playing at Theater of Note from August 17th to September 16th. For more information, go to www.facebook.com/Theater of Note. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Zombie Joe's Underground Theater Group for their presentation of Festival of Living Art 2017.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Ian Heath. I'm a company member with Zombie Joe's Underground. I've been working with the theater about 3 years now, and I am the co-director of Festival of Living Art, as well as one of the performers.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Expect to see raw, unadulterated art. This is art in its purest form, capturing the spirit, many times capturing the actual staging and costuming and full setup of classical art pieces, classical statues. So everything shown in those old classical pieces, you will see live in the flesh in front of you.
This is very interesting. First of all, very seldom do I see art like this in theater. It was basically, it's like, they're like still lifes. I saw a little movement in there, but again, it was more focused on, I would say, well, what would you say it's focused on? It's not really the acting, it's not really the voice, it's not really the movement. What would you say is the focus of this?
Well, like I mentioned before, it's kind of about bringing the spirit of an art piece to life. There's some things where you see humans depicted moving in ways that they can't physically move in real life. You see things like Picasso where, you have a horse's rear facing one way and its head jutting out of its very own body, a person having just like an arm and a head and a candle, and that's it. And so it's about trying to bring the spirit and the feel and the essence of an art piece to life. So sometimes it is a bit of movement, like seeing Atlas sink under the weight of the world. It's about trying to bring that to you whilst remaining as true to the art piece as possible.
For my younger actors, I have a question for you. Suppose they're presented a piece where they have to perform some nudity, say like hair or something like that. And no, they may feel a little uncomfortable about it, but it is artistic. I mean, hair has been around for a long time. What kind of advice would you give them?
I would say don't do anything that doesn't make you comfortable. If that makes you absolutely uncomfortable, that might not be the role for you. However, if you really want that specific role, if you really think that role is a good fit for you and something you're willing to challenge yourself with and push your boundaries with, go for it. Like, I originally wasn't comfortable with that sort of thing, and back in college they had a nude modeling course, like life drawing, and they needed a model, and so I decided to push my own boundaries. I decided to go up, be the life model, and help get rid of that fear in my own mind so I could go forward and do any sort of role I wanted to.
I found this piece very interesting. First of all, this type of art was very well done for this type of genre.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and you're referring to the tableau style that we did. Yeah, everything is, it's laid out, it's still or movement into stillness in front of you, and it's rapid fire, art piece after art piece after art piece, where you're getting this full range of art styles and art history all in front of you, all in the range of about 40 minutes.
Yeah, once again, really well done. I have to compliment the actors on that. And again, if my viewers are interested in this piece, they really should come by and see this.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time to come out. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm with
Esther Lane. I'm an actress, an LA-based actress, and this is my first time at Zombie Joe's.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect a kick-ass show with a lot of great art pieces and original works, and just something fun to see. You'll never see anything like this anywhere else. It's just amazing what we do in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, actually, this is actually legitimate art. I've seen this before, but again, I don't see it done that often. What do you think? Why do you think that's the case?
I think people are scared to do it, and the fear of failing at it, and you just got to give it your all and try your best. And I think we had a really, standard group of people with the same thing in common. We just wanted to put up a kick-ass show, and we did it.
For the younger actors out there, if say they had a part in which they had to do that involved nudity, like hair, say they had to do hair, and again they feel a little uncomfortable about that, what kind of advice can you give them?
Your body is your body, and have your own comfort zones, but don't be too afraid. We all have the same parts, and you know what? It could be beautiful when expressed correctly.
Again, this is very well done. What kind of experience did you get in doing this piece?
It was my first time. I didn't know what to expect, so I met really, really great people, and I just took out of it like I have never done anything like this in my entire life, and I want to keep producing cool stuff, and it was just amazing experience.
Okay, yeah, once again, really well done. If you enjoy this piece, come see this, because I don't think you can find this anywhere else. And again, this was very well done.
Yeah, and you got to come see it. Don't miss it. Only 2 more weekends.
Okay, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Brett Gustafson. Originally, I'm from the Boston area, and I've been out here for about 4 years. I'm primarily an actor. I'm also a special effects artist, a huge cosplayer, and I just love staying creative.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Man, absolute beautiful madness. A great way to put it. Just some of your favorite art pieces from the beginning of time to the present, we replicate on stage with our bodies and props and costume changes, and it's so fast, it's so fun, it's so furious, it's beautiful, it's fun.
If my viewers came by and see this piece, first of all, they should expect to see still life. There'll be a little nudity in it, but basically, if that's the type of theater they like, this was very, very well done.
Oh, thank you very much. We strive for all different kinds of things here at Zombie Joe's Underground. This particular show, art. There's lots of tasteful nudity, and we have no holds barred here. We go nuts. Like we're not going to skimp. We see statues, we see paintings, human bodies. The human body is beautiful. We want to replicate that on stage.
Okay. Well, once again, I really enjoyed the performance. And again, if my viewers want to see this type of theater, because I don't think there's a whole lot of places where you can see this type of theater. If they want to see it, this is a very good place to come and see.
Absolutely. There's no place other than Zombie Joe's Underground. We have a small, intimate atmosphere, black box theater. You're right there, feet away, you see all the action. So you definitely get your money's worth when you come see a show with us.
Okay. Well, thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with
Esther Lane. I'm an actress, an LA-based actress, and this is my first time at Zombie Joe's.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect a kick-ass show with a lot of great art pieces and original works, and just something fun to see. You'll never see anything like this anywhere else. It's just amazing what we do in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, actually, this is actually legitimate art. I've seen this before, but again, I don't see it done that often. Why do you think that's the case?
I think people are scared to do it, the fear of failing at it, and you just got to give it your all and try your best. And I think we had a really, standard group of people with the same thing in common. We just wanted to put up a kick-ass show, and we did it.
For the younger actors out there, if say they had a part in which they had to do that involved nudity, like hair, say they had to do hair, and again they feel a little uncomfortable about that, what kind of advice can you give them?
Your body is your body, and have your own comfort zones, but don't be too afraid. We all have the same parts, and you know what? It could be beautiful when expressed correctly.
Again, this is very well done. What kind of experience did you get in doing this piece?
It was my first time. I didn't know what to expect, so I met really, really great people, and I just took out of it like I have never done anything like this in my entire life, and I want to keep producing cool stuff, and it was just amazing experience.
Okay, yeah, once again, really well done. If you enjoy this piece, come see this, because I don't think you can find this anywhere else. And again, this was very well done.
Yeah, and you got to come see it. Don't miss it. Only 2 more weekends.
Okay, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
my name is Kara. I'm from Kentucky. This is my first show, very first show since 9th grade. I started very late in the game during the rehearsals, and it was my first show, and it was great. It was exhilarating. It was fun, and yeah.
Wow, this is a pretty challenging show for your first show.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely challenging, but it's a great cast. So, and with a lot of help from other people and the affirmations, it was great. So, confidence.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
An exhilarating show, unexpected drama, and live pieces of art coming to life before their eyes. It's a great show.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I don't see a whole lot of this, but again, if you enjoy this piece, you should see it.
Festival of Living Art 2017 will be playing at Zombie Joe's Underground Theater Group from August 20th to September 4th. For more information, go to www.zombiejoes.com.